Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the God, always on the job. I got five. Let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. And you know, it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend. Share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. It don't cost you much to touch. So go ahead and reach, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, support the channel, support your boy, and above all, support the movement. Yeah, welcome to another episode of I Got Five Let's Talk, the platform podcast. And as you know, I'm your host, the man behind the voice, Pharaoh the God. And as you know, always on the job. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all and whoever. Friends, foes, enemies, opposition. All this weekend, everybody finds themselves safe. Tonight, tomorrow, party with precaution. If you're drinking, man, get a designated driver. We don't need no accidents. We don't need no hit and runs. We don't need nobody being hit by no car, man. So tonight, you out there, watch how much you drink, man. And if you ain't got no designated driver, bro, cash somebody out, man, and have them send you some money on Zelle, whatever, so you get an Uber, man. Be safe. Be safe. Another edition of the War Report. There is new information that the New York Times is reporting on. And if you think that before you couldn't critique Israel, be pro-Palestinian, or have compassion for what's going on in Gaza, it's just got worse. And it's getting worse because what the American government and the entity it is following behind. Now, some may say Israel doesn't control America. And then you have others that question why is so many laws, bylaws, why is so much attention given to protecting Israel and whatever it does? Why is America worried about another country being critiqued? And this is where my mind just begins to click into certain manners. Because you got to ask yourself that question. Why does America put so much emphasis when it comes to regarding Israel? So today, what we're going to do, we're going to break it down. I'm going to give my assessment as always, whatever it be. And I'm not here to, start anything or to make it seem one-sided. But truth be told, some things got to be spoken about. And the government is saying that America is not controlled by Israel, but yet the American government is still continuously in real time passing laws that are in favor for Israel. Not America, but Israel. And when you have these things being consistently done, it gives validity, validation, and credibility to the naysayers when they say that Israel is controlling America. How does a foreign country get the right to block people because they're not down with their program? That is the mind-boggling situation that everybody gotta face. It's not nothing. It's not nothing that people don't grasp. They for surely do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this content by the Young Turks, and I'm gonna give my breakdown.
So does Israel control America? To some, that's an obvious question. Of course! To others, oh, that's a terribly anti-Semitic thing to say! You're just picking out poor little Israel. How dare you? Well, let's look at the facts. And new facts have come in today. And I think that the answer is going to be very, very clear. So now, apparently, there's a loyalty test if you're going to get a green card in this country. That is, gives you the ability to be a legal resident here and on your way to being a citizen. Well, of course, Jane, don't be, you're such a lib. If you want to be an American citizen, you have to have loyalty to America, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not to America. You have to have loyalty to Israel. You think, I've got to be exaggerating. That can't be real, right? It is real and reported on by the New York Times. So, they explain, under new guidance issued by the Trump administration, immigrants can now be denied a green card for expressing political opinions, such as participating in pro-Palestinian campus protests, posting criticism of Israel on social media, and desecrating the American flag. According to internal Department of Homeland Security training material.
Now you gotta ask yourself, why is this being done? In order to get a green card, you have to be pro-Israel. That is a biased contract to be involved with. Because now you are giving validity, like I said, you are giving validity to the naysayers that say America is controlled by Israel. If America wasn't controlled by Israel, America wouldn't give a fuck how you feel about Israel. So now what this means is the land of milk and honey, the American dream, has been forfeited in response to backing Israel, even though you're in America. This is not a law that is sitting up there saying that you have to stand for the national anthem, say the Pledge of Allegiance. None of this American shit. No American shit. Pro-Israeli shit.
Reviewed by the New York Times. So the Department of Homeland Security, they've seen the documents. It's 100% real. So now notice a couple of things they said. Burning the American flag. Look, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with burning it, but I also don't agree with denying people's ability to do that. The Supreme Court has ruled it free speech. And we should not be blocking people for their political opinions. But at least I understand the rationale. It's not coming out of left field. You could agree or disagree on it. You could debate it. But it's some sort of marker of, are you for or against this country when you're applying to become eventually a citizen of this country through the green card process? Okay, I get it. The other two, why on God's green earth would we care if you're posting on social media criticism of a foreign government? Imagine if instead of Israel, it said, now if you post anti-Bolivian material online, you'll obviously be denied entrance to America. You'd be like, wait, what? Anti-Bolivian? Why do we care what's going on in Bolivia? I mean, lovely country, I'm not against it. But why is that a litmus test to whether you can get a green card or citizenship in America? People would find that the strange. Imagine if it was Russia or China. You're not allowed to post anything negative about Russia. The whole country would go nuts. The mainstream media would explode. We knew it. Russia, Russia, Russia. He's serving Putin. He's under the control of Putin. Not only would they say that, they have said that in the past, and we never got anything this crystal clear. But to me, the third one is the most egregious. Forget being against Israel or just criticizing Israel. You no longer have speech rights in America. This is one of many, many stories we've covered. 38 states say you're not allowed to support boycott, divest, and sanction movement against Israel. And if you do, they'll take government contracts away from you and try to, ruin your livelihood. It could cost you money, cost you speech. There's so many different laws in this country that prevent you from criticizing one country in particular. Not even America. That's also, of course, unconstitutional. But Israel, now being blocked from criticizing Israel is obviously unconstitutional. We have speech rights to say any damn thing we like about our own country, let alone other countries. But one corrupt politician after another, by the way, in every single instance, taking a massive amount of money from the Israeli lobby, whether they're national politicians or they're governors, and then they go, I've gotten millions of dollars from AIPAC. Okay, that's it. You're not allowed to criticize Israel. There's a law in Florida. You're in a lot of trouble if you're criticizing. You have no speech rights in Florida. Bow your head to Israel. And then you show the press, hey, here's how much money Ron DeSantis got from the Israeli lobby. And then the guy does this law, and he even signed it in Israel. He signed a law about Florida in Israel. I mean, there's giant blaring neon signs, controlled by Israel, controlled by Israel. But on top of that, in this one, they go, you're not even allowed to be pro-Palestinian. If you're pro another human being, another race or ethnicity that Israel hates and wants to discriminate against, that's it, you're banned. That is insane. That's... Like, the British are a special ally. Of course, we don't give them anything like we give to Israel, and we don't fight all their wars for them. They didn't ask us to attack 7 countries. Anyway, so if we had passed a law saying you have to be more loyal to England, that already would have been super crazy, UK. But if we said we will ban you from this country if you post anything pro-Irish, justifiably, everybody would have said that is insane. That is exactly and literally what they're doing here. So, but by the way, credit to New York Times for covering it and bringing us this story. Great job, guys. Credit where credit is due.
Now, let's get real here for a minute. And I know some people are maybe MAGAs that believe in protecting Israel or making laws here in America for Israel. When does it become America first? Like, literally. When does it become America first? If you say you are American first, then you are against things like this. You have to be against things that are putting other entities, countries in front of America. If you are American first, and if you say you bleed blue or you bleed American blood, how are you all right with your country protecting the perception of a country that consistently does evil? As the American that believes America is at the forefront, America is the driver home of life, liberty, and justice, true upholders of sovereignty. Where is our sovereignty being held up at? Do you see them making laws in Israel protecting American perception? Has Israel ever made a law that is in favor of Americans have the Israeli government ever signed laws for Israel in America? And I've always said this as a Trump supporter, right? Trump fucked up when he took that $250 million. And prior to that, Trump was making fucked up deals and allowing deals to disintegrate right before his eyes. Taking action on things that will harm the fabric of America. Not with bombs, not with missiles and terrorist attacks, but the economy. America was strong because it had the petrodollar system. America was strong because in order to buy oil, you had to do it in U.S. currency. But that deal is no longer. That deal is now shipped to China. And in order to get Arabian oil, you have to buy it in Chinese yuan. So if that's the type of deal that made America politically strong, economically strong, what do you think that's going to do for China? It's like the rug was snatched from under America, but yet they still ain't failed. They failed, but they ain't realized they failed. And like I said in the past, who gave Trump the authority to go kidnap a president? That was another part of a plan that made America look like the America of old. Going into countries, kidnapping presidents, trying to topple governments, forcing people into using their natural resources as America wants them to use them, and leave the country that they're manipulating in a decimated state. Now, the deal with Venezuela and China, Venezuela owed China $60 billion. So now who you think that oil is going to go to first from Venezuela? Again, making America look bad. Who did that? Who advised Trump to do that? And then he goes on a rant and a rave talking about, well, I'm going to take Greenland and all this. These are deals and these are rhetoric that is costing America its perception. That is costing America its legitimacy. It's costing America its validity, its credibility. If you look at these deals that Trump has been doing since he took that money, all of these deals have been to cripple America from within. These are not deals that, oh man, we found out they were bad. These are deals, the moment they happen, we know that they're crucial. And this is why I say back in Israel is dangerous. Because if the conspiracy theories could come out with the theory that Israel runs America, and then you have laws being passed and the New York Times reporting on them. Laws that are favorable only to Israel, only to the perception of Israel. My assessment is that somebody and some entity is crippling America from within, so America cannot be America no more. Not that big bad sovereignty upholder. And if you don't see it, there is a fight for a new mega player on the board. Or if not a new mega player, a more dominant present mega player. That's what this fight is for. And if you think that Israel is going to come out victorious in their Middle East warmongering and respect America, you have another thing coming. Hey, y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the God, always on the job. I got 5. Let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. It don't cost you much to touch, so go ahead and reach, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, support the channel, support your boy, and above all, man, support the movement. Man, to everybody that's tuned in right now, man, go ahead, hit that like button, man. Show your boy some love. This is a non-monetized page, so show some love, man. If you in here, man, don't be a square. Keep it fair like a California bear. Don't be a California raisin. Don't do no hate. Again, welcome everybody to the Platform Podcast. I got 5. Let's talk. I'm your host, Pharaoh the God. How does Trump fix this conspiracy theory analogy? And how does Trump fix this war? I start by saying Israel cannot be trusted. Israel has been caught with his hand in the cookie jar time and time and time and time again throughout history. And what this has shown throughout history is no matter how much you play nice with the Zionists, no matter how much you play nice with the Yahudi, they always turn on everyone. They always turn on everyone in order to exert their 3,000-year-old promise, so to speak. And if you think that you or if Trump thinks that he in America is in the greater Israel plan, you better think again. Israel is not sharing that power if they get it. And Israel is not listening to no one once they get it. Helping Israel is very vital. Not only is it vital to the problem, but it's vital to the solution. And we're going to get that into it. We're going to get there in a moment. Stay tuned.
Cable news? Guys, just shut up, you anti-Semites. I say you should all be canceled, okay? They haven't criticized this at all. Some have written in that Chris Hayes actually has been decent on some of these issues relating to Gaza, Lebanon. All right, I'll exclude Chris from the criticism of every other corrupt cable news actor who obviously also works for Israel and never criticizes them, even though we have preposterous new rules and laws like this. All right, let's continue about what is criticism of Israel. New York Times explains. With the training materials citing as an example of questionable speech. We're supposed to have free speech in this country. We don't give a damn what you think is questionable. Anyway, example of questionable speech, a social media post that declares stop Israeli terror in Palestine and shows the Israeli flag crossed out. But wait, Israel is doing terrorism in Palestine. So now you're banned from saying things that are true if it hurts the feelings of a foreign government.
Insurance companies are trying to remove a viral social media video that claims people involved in...
If it hurts the feelings of a foreign government. Guys, the people that are in old school, like that watch cable news and have their brain fried and leaking out their ears like Rudy Giuliani and Joe Biden, right? And they're like, Israel is our special ally. We must fillet them. I owe all my money to them. Otherwise, I'm a Jew hater. I serve Israel loyally. Outside of those guys and the mainstream media anchors themselves, the jury's in. We're not going to be in favor as Americans, either on the left or the right, and especially as independents. We'll be back with the news. But first, I want to tell you about something that's made my day a lot easier, and that's Cook Unity. Cook Unity has helped me stay balanced, and there's chefs. Enter code TYT before. That is a mental proposition. Okay. By the way, is there really Israeli terrorism? Are you allowed to say that? Well, now in a lot of ways you're not allowed to say that in America. I say it anyway, and Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump and all of Israel First can kiss my ass, my American ass, and they're like, oh, your American ass has been disloyal to Israel. Israeli ass is more important. That's why Trump and Vance are kissing it. Okay, great. By the way, so is Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. We're a fair show. All right, so Israel's, of course, killed 72,594 people at a minimum in Gaza. They've killed nearly 2,500 in Lebanon, 3,500 in Iran. To be fair, that one is partly us as well. They've killed over 22,800 kids. These are all bare minimum numbers. Verified bodies. They assassinate.
And this is the problem. 22,000 children. 22,000. You try to phantom the number and see the children in your head, but me, when I try to picture it, it's hard for me to see 22,000 dead children. Call me soft, call me weak, but when I try to envision 22,000 dead children, I can't. Why? Because that ain't supposed to happen. Human beings are supposed to be more compassionate and sentimental to life. 22,000 children. This is part of the problem, but this behavior is also part of the solution. And I'm going to keep saying that until you understand what I mean when I say Israel is part of the problem and Israel is the solution. It's going to run over your minds. And some of y'all might be saying, whoa, wait a minute, Pharaoh. You going pro-Israel? I'm like Dave Chappelle. I got a code word. Y'all know what that code word means. If you ever hear it, you know I've been compromised. But that's not what I'm saying. There is a silver lining here. that if it's not addressed, it will cause not a rift, not a crack, but a crater into civilization. And instead of putting cones down, warning people about this crack, they keep feeding the crack for it to grow. And that crack is the threat to the foundation. I'm gonna let that sit right there, and I hope it sink in.
Reporters and kids, American doctors confirming headshots and chest shots to kids under 5 years old. To reporters, they do double taps, which is a hallmark of terrorists. They wait for rescue workers to come in one case in Lebanon, a priest to come in, and then they hit him again to murder all the rescue workers as well. They've destroyed nearly every hospital and school in Gaza, and they are now doing that to Lebanon and Iran. And, there's sexual violence in their prisons because, again, this is what terrorists do. They rape their victims. So the one guy saying, I wish for death, sexual.
Now, on this, I reported on this, and a lot of people told me it was AI, that in the Israeli prisons, they have somewhere in their sick sodomite minds have taught canine dogs how to insert their penis, the dog penis, into a male's rectum and have sexual intercourse with the dog will have sexual intercourse with the human. And I reported on this in the war report, and people told me I was lying. You hate Israel that much that you report lies. It's not lies. And this is not the first time American Israeli prisons have been alluded to such behavior. Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, Afghanistan. So this is not new behavior by these players. And like I said, I am not monetized. I give my assessments and I put this information out there for educational purposes. I don't get paid for it. I just had to eat my breakfast while I'm on here with y'all. Because I feel that this information is vital, and I feel that it is vital to expose the entity that America needs to chop its arm away from. It's a cancer. And if you gotta chop off the leg in order to save the body, it gotta be done. Now we're getting a little closer to what I'm alluding at. Trump is the only one that can fix this. And people may say, oh, bro, you tripping. Trump fixing anything? Hold your parents, calm down. Stay in your seat, we're gonna talk about it.
Violence in Israel's prisons is an organized state policy that is quoting insiders. And here's some details from that. And sorry, but to subject you to this, but I've got to show you and prove to you how vicious Israel is. And they say we are not allowed to criticize what I'm about to read to you. Okay. One former detainee, a 42-year-old woman from North Gaza, who was held in a notorious Siddiq detention center, said she was bound naked to a metal table and repeatedly raped by two masked soldiers over the course of 2 days. Remember when cable news went nuts over maybe sexual assaults? Probably sexual assaults that happened on October 7th. It was very hard to conclusively prove it, but it looked like that might be the case. And they're like, good enough, the most outrageous thing. How many cable news hosts have covered the vicious and systemic rape that Israel does in their gulags to Palestinians over and over again? Zero is the count I have it at. Zero. Because when Israel does it, then rape is a good thing. right? Okay, well, you say, well, look, Jake, is that just one case? Now, look, guys, I can give you dozens. And we've covered earlier IDF soldiers saying they can't sleep at night for what they've done to people and how they were innocent and they did the most vicious terroristic acts to them. But I'll give you one last one. Sorry, it's so graphic, but you should know what monsters these guys are. So to finish up the lady that I was talking about, she recalled that she was left shackled, naked, and bleeding throughout the night before the soldiers returned the next day to continue raping her. And if you thought that was bad, and it is the most horrific thing you could read, until you get to Amir. Amir, a 35-year-old Palestinian man, also held as Sidit Taiman. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's okay. It's a freaking gulag run by terrorists. Anyway, recounted how soldiers forced him to strip naked before their dogs urinated on him and then raped him. He described how the dog penetrated me in a trained manner while I was being beaten.
An IQ of 85 to 100.
And people think I just be making shit up.
He described how the dog penetrated me in a trained manner while I was being beaten. So these are the beloved Israelis we're not allowed to criticize. These are the ones that have taken away our First Amendment rights, have ripped up our Constitution and said you must bow to Israel if you're to be allowed in this country, if you're allowed to stay in this country, and even if you're an American citizen, we'll take your contracts away, we'll do punishments on campus. I have American students coming up to me, not foreign students, American students when I was on college campuses, and whispering to me, hey, thank you for your critique of Israel. We're not allowed to say it here. They're making lists and making sure that no one who criticizes Israel will get a job after we graduate. We have an Israeli Gestapo that's inside our government, that's inside our media, that's inside the country, that is bullying, intimidating, and ruling us. And this is clear. Look at the government saying, you must bow to Israel if you're to enter America. Okay, how do they justify it? Zach Collar, a spokesman for USCIS, says, if you hate America, you have no business demanding to live in America. Yeah, but what if you want to criticize Israel? Because you didn't mention that. Why didn't he not mention that, even though he knows the primary questions about Israel? Because it's indefensible. Go ahead, Israel first. I said it online already, and in social media, the pathetic reaction back was like, well, I mean, Israel is so America that really, if you criticize Israel, you're criticizing America because we are America. Shut up, you anti-Semite. Stop telling people the truth. Make them stop. Yeah, I know. They're trying to make us stop, but it's not going to work. Abigail Jackson, a White House spokeswoman, said the administration policies had nothing to do with free speech, even though they're literally banning free speech. Quote, and were meant to protect American institutions, the safety of citizens, national security, and the freedoms of the United States. No, to be absolutely clear, they are taking away the freedoms of people in the United States so that they are not allowed to criticize Israel, a foreign government. You get it. In the past, the New York Times explains, immigration officers have focused on statements that could incite or encourage violence, given concerns about the infringing on constitutionally protected speech, former USCIS officials said. So yeah, that's true. In the past, they would look to see, like the flag burning, I don't love that rule, but they could say, well, maybe that means you're going to be violent. We're not looking to block your speech, but if you're going to come into the country and be violent, we can't have that. And that rule makes sense, okay? But here, it's not about violence, it's just about speech. And it's not about America, it's about Israel, okay? And then, so is this surprising from the Trump administration? Look, given that we've given our so-called special ally all these different things, absolutely not. And on top of that, what they've done is now they're slowing green cards down to 50% of what it used to be. Because the Israelis have to check, are they allowed in? Or one day they might vote against Israel, or they might even say something against Israel. No, they're blocked, and they're blocked, and they're blocked. Okay, now I'm going to tell you who you're taking to your country, and that's to cut it in half. And they have to be pre-approved by Israel. But Israel doesn't control America. The people saying that Israel doesn't control America are purposely lying to you. I know a lot of them actually mean well and they're ignorant. They've been taught that it's a trope and it can't possibly be true. Even if it's proven to you 200% over, they're like, no. I was taught that it was a trope. So if it's a trope, you can't even say it. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to say it. In fact, you're canceled and you should be criticized and you should be banned. No, brother. No. I don't give a damn what you think is tropes. This isn't a trope. This is a fact. So at best, you're ignorant if you don't realize Israel obviously controls America and our government. And at worst, you're maliciously lying to the American people so they don't find out that Israel obviously controls American policy. So now we go back to the reporting. Immigration officers have also been told to scrutinize applicants who encourage anti-Semitism through rhetorical or physical actions. So we already covered physical actions. If you say that you are encouraging anti-Semitism, of course, any criticism of Israel is immediately called anti-Semitic. That's another giant lie by the people who are protecting Israel above all in this country. But and I could prove that's a lie too. 63% of Jewish Americans, 63%, they say they support Israel, but they are against the current Israeli government and their actions. Are they all anti-Semites? According to the U.S. government, yes. Bow your head to Israel. They don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, or Jewish. You must bow your head to that foreign government. So this idea that now rhetorical actions, there are no rhetorical actions. Those are called speech, and they're absolutely protected by our First Amendment, which Israel is trying to burn to the ground. Okay? So there is no rhetorical actions against Israel.
Hey, thank everybody for hitting these comments, man. I'm having a little problem going back on the comments right now. So if you commented, just go ahead and comment one more time, and I'll see it, and I'm going to address it. Black Hawk said, who doesn't let you criticize Israel? Half of the American parliament posts freely on X, whatever they want. BB is the most memed upon guy lately. You may be able to post on Twitter, X, Instagram, even YouTube. But some of the things that people are alluding to, some of the theories that people are trying to, bring together, they are being targeted. Whether you believe it or not, the FBI is showing up to people's houses in America for questioning the relationship between America and Israel. It hasn't happened to me yet. I guess I ain't big enough. But there are numerous reports of this happening. This isn't something new. Shout out to London, man. Thank you for tuning in all the way across the pond, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you much to touch. Go ahead and support the channel. Support your boy. And above all, man, support the movement. A lot of people would love to believe that here in America, there is absolutely 100% free speech. I can truly attest that there isn't. This YouTube channel that we are on right now has been banned from YouTube at least 15 times. At least. Not including how many strikes I done had, how long they took my page, the seasons of all, like right now, me doing the war report, right? It's been times to where I get a strike or I get my page taken and I do my due diligence to get it back. And when it comes back, all of the episodes of the war report are missing. This is what's been happening to me. Not from what I've seen to anybody else, but because the way I have spoke out against the things that Israel has done, and I speak out against the things that Israel is doing. But my page has been affected. I had this page for years. Ain't monetized yet. I'm talking about 5 years. Ain't monetized yet. Oh, and then give me the page back, and all my hours, my public watch hours would be gone, and all my short views would be gone. So if that's not sabotaging the freedom of speech, shit, I don't know what to tell you then. I just don't know what to tell you. And somebody says you let this clown, I can't believe you let this clown on your channel. I may not agree with everything that they say. I don't agree with 90% that Channel 5 News says. But every morning I get up and I turn it on by habit. And if I really want to hear the lies, I'll turn on Channel 11. So just because I let him on the channel doesn't necessarily mean I agree with him in its totality. Nah. But you can learn something from an ant if you study it long enough. You feel me? What my boys say? You can learn a lot from a jealous nigga. You just gotta pay attention. A lot of us don't even pay attention for our mind to be elevated. A lot of us just pay attention for our physical to be satisfied.
Israel. That's a made-up thing to take away our rights, our American rights. Lastly, this pathetic excuse came in from one of the officials. They said, this is so you could, quote, protect your homeland and defend your culture.
Hey, Aruba Tuba, man, thank you for tuning in, man, and dropping the comment. I'm still trying to figure out when America became the United States of Israel. The Israeli government starts shit, plays victim, and we come to their rescue. When is enough? When is enough enough? I think it's now. I definitely think it's now, and I definitely think that it's not going to happen in an explosive period, but it starts with the conscious, man. You got to start recognizing the cow shit. Listen to what I'm saying. You got to recognize the cow shit. If they get over on you with the cow shit, that ain't even bullshit. It ain't even strong enough to be bullshit. So if they get over on you with the cow shit, for sure they gonna get over on you with the bullshit. That's how it goes. There's a saying, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he says the first time the devil comes to you, hey cousin, the first time the devil comes to you, he comes to you with 99% truth. And he returns, he comes to you first with 100% truth. Then it returns with 99% truth and 1% lie. And he keeps returning until he's able to give you all lies and no truth. Says Trump couldn't be the blind chicken at Checkers. This joke was not intended to incite violence. I have to say that after every joke. MAGA snowflakes. For sure, for sure, for sure. Shout out David, man. Hey, I'm gonna let the rest of this play out, this content. And after this, I'm gonna give my assessment of what I think needs to be done. And yes, keep in mind that I said Israel is the problem, but also Israel is the solution. Don't take that and run with it and think that I'm saying Israel first. Because if you stick around, that'd be the farthest from what I'm about to reveal.
To which I would ask, which homeland and which culture? Because it looks like the American government is super busy protecting Israel's homeland, both literally, physically, all of our Gulf allies are complaining that we didn't spend any of our missiles defending them. Instead, we spent all of our missiles defending Israel. But also now we are protecting them from dangerous rhetoric against beloved Israel. So whose culture is this? Because this is not American culture. American culture is for freedom of speech and freedom overall and American sovereignty. No, this is Israeli culture, where Israel matters more than every other country in the world. Israelis matter more than every other person in the world, including Americans. And we're the dumb piggy bank. And we're the ones that have to pay for all of their expenses, all of their weapons. We've already given them over $320 billion. They're the size of Papua New Guinea. If we had given Papua New Guinea $320 billion, everyone in the government would have been fired, because what the hell did you do that for? But when it comes to Israel, everybody in the media comes in and goes, you have to do it. You have to do it. Otherwise, all of America hates Jews. You anti-Semitic Trump people. Bow to Israel. That's what our stupid mainstream media says. That's what our government says, because we are obviously controlled by Israel. There's no factual dispute at all. All there is Israeli propaganda by the same exact people who I just listed as controlling us on behalf of Israel. But that control is not working. And as you see, the American people like freedom, and this is bothering them, and we should go and change it. And the way you do it, last thing, guys, is super important. Whether you take our pledge at notanother.com or you just have an internal pledge yourself, I don't mind and I don't care. But what I do care about is if these sellout, corrupt politicians continue to send your money that you had to work super hard for over to Israel to murder more people and to take their land, as they're doing in Lebanon right now, to both Muslims and Christians. They take money out of your pocket so that they could go steal more land in Gaza and Lebanon and make us go fight their wars and spend $8 trillion on the 7 exact countries they wanted us to attack. We attacked every one of those countries, and mainstream media is like, I can't figure it out. They wanted you to attack 7 countries, and you attacked all 7. And, they gave to 94% of Congress. I bet that's a wild coincidence. They gave over $300 million to Trump, and they gave to Biden and to Kim Jeffries and Mike Johnson, and they're the number one donor to all of them, and Chuck Schumer. But I can't figure it out. I don't know how to follow the money. I'm a reporter. All I know how to do is kiss Israel's ass. That's all they ever taught me. That's right. You're among the people who are trying to control us, but guess what? The American people have news for you. We are uncontrollable. You will not be able to shackle us. We will demand and we will get our freedom back from the Israelis and the people supporting Israel in this country that have been trying to oppress us for much longer than you realize. And we're sick of that.
Now, what we just watched was the Young Turks expressing their frustration, value, whatever you want to call it. But the thing I want to zero in on is the new law that is being passed for immigrants. Immigrants can only get a green card if they're not critical of Israel. But yet we say America is not controlled by Israel. Israel made it a way for America to go to war with 7 Muslim countries. And they did, through 9/11. Israel now is being exposed for meddling in the politics of America. How do we stop this? But before I get to how do we stop this, let me paint this picture for you. If the conspiracy theorists are correct, right, and America is being ran by Israel, that means that every deal that Trump has made that has helped cripple the fabric of America, whether it be the Saudi Arabian oil deal, whether it be snatching Maduro, whether it be starting wars, secretly plotting to kill Ibrahim Traore, whatever it is, America is becoming the person that does all the heavy lifting. Remember, America had that for a while, and they had everybody else doing it for them. Now it seems that Israel is controlling America from the Middle East. So if they are intertwined and they're together, that means the conspiracy theorists are on the road to be proven correct. But if they're not being controlled by Israel from the Far East, what needs to be done? And I say you got to go to the start of the problem. The start of the problem is Trump. The start of the problem is Trump getting into bed with Benjamin Netanyahu. The start of the problem is Trump getting into bed with the Zionist regime. Now, I understand Trump as being either a failing businessman or a thriving businessman. A lot of his orientation has to do with money. He's disoriented when it's not about money. He's like a donkey with a carrot in front of him. You put the money in front of him, he's gonna follow. So Trump has put himself in position to be the cause of all of this. But when you look at that, you say, who is the real culprit? It's Israel. And what Trump must do now is the most drastic thing he must do in order to fix this current situation before it actually gets out of hand. America needs to cut off Israel. Israel is the problematic child here that must be given up for adoption. Because no matter what you do for this child, no matter, this child is gonna rant, it's gonna rave, it's gonna kick, it's gonna scream, it's gonna become violent. And you're gonna become old and feeble. And that child is gonna hurt you. And one day, God forbid, that child kills you. All because you did not discipline the child like you were supposed to. America needs to waken up and really thrive into its own sovereignty. We have caused so much strife, so much confusion across the global stage that it is now time for America to step back and say, y'all figure it out. Y'all already know what we could do, and y'all already know what we will do. So don't come over here fucking with us. Because if you come over here fucking with us, we gonna fuck with you. That is the only thing that will solidify the Middle East right now. Why? Because America's in a war that has nothing to do with them. America is in the war because his little brother was getting his ass whooped. And everybody else, the one nigga that's in the fight with him is telling America, hey bro, chill out, it's just between us. I don't like you neither, but I ain't never did nothing to you. Just let me box him. This is when the solution and the problem meet its head like a pimple. The problem is Israel. The solution is getting rid of Israel. And I'm not saying get rid of Israel as in like Benjamin Netanyahu did to Gaza and Lebanon. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this regime change that we always hearing coming from American mouths and Israeli Zionist mouths. We always hear about a regime change, and America is always there to help influence a regime change over the last couple centuries. So what needs to be done now, I feel, is take the problematic child out of school and lock his ass up. The child needs to be disciplined with isolation. That's what's gonna save America. It doesn't matter if the Zionist millionaires and billionaires are here in America. Why? Because let Israel get to tripping. We might have a central bank and IMF and all of that, right? But let Israel get to tripping. And this is what America doesn't understand. And I think America does, but it still wants to back the greed. Because if America stopped backing Israel, it's a lot of countries that will still come to America and ask for protection. America has the means to set the global stage right. Sometimes you don't want to walk away from your brother. But damn it, keeping it real goes wrong. It's not about what we think, it's about what can be done. And what can be done is Trump distancing itself, America, from Israel. Hey, let me see, I see some of these comments, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna deal with that one. You feel me? Yes, James DeVille, people do gotta free themselves from Israel. It is nothing that benefits us as Americans. Back in Israel, we get nothing in return. Nothing. The only solution to our problem right now is for Trump to abandon Israel. And people might say, oh, that's anti-Semitic. How? If a motherfucker doing wrong, a motherfucker doing wrong. Motherfuckers gotta stop acting like they don't see what they see. And the motherfuckers that do see it and act like they don't see it, you already know what time it is. You already know what side they on. already know what side they on. Hey, y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the God, always on the job. I got 5. Let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. And y'all know it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend, to share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. My assessment is that Trump and America, the government, needs to free itself from the blackmail of Israel. If Trump really wants to be remembered, be remembered as the president that said no to Israel. But if you don't do that, does that mean Trump fears Israel? Does that give validity to that scary fact that if you do say no to Israel, you can and possibly will be killed? I don't know. I don't have to make them decisions. But what I do got to do is keep putting out this content. Thank y'all for rocking with me today, man. All y'all that indulged in the comments, man, is very, 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 very much appreciated. James DeVille, I think that's what a lot of Americans are saying now, is saying that we need to focus more. I think we need to focus more on being American and what America can do for Americans. And I think that with that analogy coming into view, coming into play, you're going to have people start realizing what side people are on. Because there's nothing wrong with criticizing America, whether you're American or not. I think it makes you more American if you are able to say the cold, concrete, hard truth about America. Especially if you're black in America. I think that if you're black and you tell the cold, hard facts about America, I don't think that you hate America. I think that you also are just giving it raw and uncut. I think people have sat back and wanted the truth to be dressed up to where it's almost like a lie. You know what I mean? Like, people are so scared of the truth that they would rather you tell them a lie first. But again, what Trump needs to do, and the only thing Trump can do, is let go of Israel's hand. Trump needs to fix this situation. Whether it's fixed with him in it or out of it, Trump needs to put Israel to bed. Trump needs to stop Israel now. Because once Israel starts to get hold of these waterways, these international global merchandise waterways, global transits of trade, once Israel starts controlling these bodies of water, you think they're gonna play nice? You think they're gonna play nice? America doesn't even have a plan of what if the world is shut down and you can't get grain and shit. We haven't even really actually set farm aside just for Americans. No, our farms have been set aside with pesticides, all type of cancer. Like, this is what we eating that's coming from the American farmers. We haven't even stabilized ourselves if something was to go wrong. So just imagine if Israel created the Greater Israel Project into reality. That means Israel would have from the Nile River all the way to the Euphrates River. And that will include the Suez Canal. That's a global waterway trade route. Global. They're going to war with Iran. If they control the Strait of Hormuz, that's 1/5 of commerce, trade, energy, and oil, natural gases. That's 2 global trade routes that Israel could take control of. Now we see them talking about, and one of the countries that they said to go to war was Somalia. Somalia, Yemen, they control the Bab al-Mandab Strait. Israel is the only one that recognized Somaliland as a sovereign nation. And once he did that, the Yemen Houthis started attacking American ships and vessels in the area, causing the vessels to take a longer and more expensive route. What is Benjamin Netanyahu doing over there? And like I said, before he even went to Somalia to start the talks, the Houthis didn't even have no problems. They weren't even really recognized at that time. But you always need a conflict in the region for your presence to be there. And once he left, the Houthis appeared. It's quite strange. But yeah, whatever. And then there's Turkey, whom Israel is now pushing to go to war with. And you guessed it, they own the strait as well. An international global wheat trade from Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the world's exports of good grain. So now you have the top of Africa, North Africa, the Suez Canal being controlled or trying to get controlled by the Zionist regime. You have the Bab al-Mandab Strait at the Horn of Africa that's now trying to be influenced by Israel by recognizing Somaliland. Then you have the war in Iran with the Strait of Hormuz, which is just like crazy. Because if Israel was to control all 3 or 4 of these straits, Israel already manipulates the world, some say, into doing what they want to do. So just imagine if they hold the cards to the international trade routes. That will be the issuance or the start of a new world order. Why? Because you have totality. You have a totality of control globally. One nation, one movement, one ideology. Everybody else is subject. Isn't this what it says in their books? That they are God's chosen people and that we are the goyim, the cattle. So if Israel was to take hold of the Greater Israel Project, who will be in trouble? Do you think America will get any significant special treatment? I definitely don't think so. I definitely don't think so. And this is why I say that Trump needs to take action now. And it has nothing to do with me or what you think I hate Jews or I hate Israel. No, I don't hate Jews. And no, I don't hate those that call themselves Jews. What I do hate, though, is warmongers. What I do hate is genocidal behavior. What I do hate is mass manipulation. That's what I do hate. I hate mass coercion into criminality. I hate that people are not allowed to do what they want to in their own country with their own power when they're not attacking neighbors. That's what I do hate. People always want to put this out there. Oh, you gotta be Muslim because you hate Jews, or you hate Jews because you're Muslim, or you're not American because you're Muslim. What happened to right is right and wrong is wrong? It shouldn't matter that the person is Muslim, Christian, Catholic, or Hindu, right? If what's solidified is right and what can be proven is also wrong. I got that right to do that. That don't make me a hater of anybody. I'm pointing out the Captain Obvious, Craig. That's just what it is. That's it. That's all. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know how y'all feel. Give me y'all spiel. And let me know, man, are you feeling it? Are you not? Where did I miss a step at? Where was I wrong at? I got 5 Let's Talk, man. It's an open platform podcast where we come, we hang out, and we talk about it. Because we are the real Americans. We are the ones that shape what's going on. Never mind what the government tells you. The government has manipulated us to working for them. But now it is time to get back for the government to be working for us. And it's time for us to start treating neighbor like a real neighbor. It's time for us to get rid of our bigotry thinking. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. Times are changing. As the one soap opera was named, As the World Turns. So shall man's thoughts. We're a growing species. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. Why are we being stagnated with the ideology of what we have right now. The only way Trump can fix this is by saying no to Israel. It's not handing Iran a victory. It's not. Because America has done so much for certain countries that it's time for them to spread their wings and fly. And we know some birds, when they leave the nest, some of them don't make it. Some of them fall down and die, break their neck. Oh well, that's how it goes. Just because one nation fell out the tree and died, don't mean it won't be another nation to come behind them. It is time that America let go of people's hand. Stop enabling these people to start shit because you are behind them. Let these people get their own ass kicked. Let these people see what it really feels like to have nobody there for you. Let them see that. Let them experience that. And maybe, just maybe, they'll have a different outlook. Carrie B6849, I think it makes sense now. I think a lot of people wait for the end, like, let me go see this movie. I heard it's good, but let's see how the end play out. If the end of the movie is good, it may lead to a part 2. It's excellent. But if it doesn't lead to a part 2, it's always a eh. But I do believe this is especially the American populist time of learning. America has been heavy on the bigotry, heavy on the fascists, double heavy on the racists and racism. And through all of that, the balloon has gotten so big to where now people are saying, I think it's time for us to have a different outlook and a different ideology. Because we keep going down the same road, we just got on different clothes. The final blows worse before better. That is actually true and correct, man. It always gets worse before it gets better. And Israel might take over. And this is what we got to be prepared for mentally. Because if you think that if Israel gains dominance and reach for what they're reaching for and grab what they're reaching for, that power, that dominance, that influence, that fear that America once had and was instilling around the world, if Israel grabs that potion, it's over. It's going to be a long time before it gets better. And maybe this might be the way it plays out. It gets better before it gets greater. Some people talking about the second coming of Christ, the Mahdi. Some people are talking about the Dajjal. Some people are talking about the great Satan. Maybe this is the way it plays out. It gets worse before it gets better. Why? It gets worse because we wasn't being conscious of what was being placed in front of us. So we have to bear the fruit of not paying attention. It's like being in an accident You saw the light going yellow, but you didn't slow down nor stop, nor did you keep your eye on the intersection. You put your head right back into your phone and hit the gas. That's your fault. That's your collision. But it shouldn't take us long enough to get into a car wreck to halfway be almost enabled physically to when we start getting it. That's what got us into the current situation now. We took too long to accept what our eyes and our ears and our hearts been telling us. And that is we are being led astray. No matter what religion it is, look at the fuckery that's going on in the world. We are being led astray. We didn't open our eyes to that. We wanted to be free, and now we got free, and look what the fuck it's costing us. Look what it's costing us. It can cost us almost our sovereignty right now because we wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that, Carrie B, man. The numbers, numerics and all that, you feel me? I think that's going a little bit over my head. But it's okay. Let me know how y'all feel, man. Let me know how y'all think, man. We finna get ready to get up out of here. So before I do, let's have a conversation. Let's have a talk of today's topics. Or if you feeling it, just ask me how I feel about any topic, man. So before we get out of here, man, I want to say again, man, thanks to everybody indulging in the comments and hitting that like button. It means a lot. You feel me? And I appreciate y'all, man. But whatever y'all want to, y'all got something on y'all mind, y'all want to ask or get off, I say we got about 10 minutes. But yeah, though, I definitely feel the only way that this could be fixed is by Trump saying no to Israel. Letting go of Israel's hand. Telling Israel no more. But it's fucked up because Trump already took the money. He already accepted the money. It's a scary price to pay, but we are talking about American sovereignty here. We are talking about American freedom here. Total freedom. I think it's worth it, man. I think that Trump really doesn't want to stand up and tell Israel no because of they expose everything. But I think that's what America needs. America needs to be exposed so it can rebuild itself. That's what's damaging. Everybody is scared of America being exposed, but they don't understand that is the only way we are going to be able to begin to heal as a nation. Because if you say no to them people, they're going to start exposing. Why you think it's only the American elite that are exposed consistently and crucified throughout the media? All over the world, though. Not just here in America, over the world. But it is numerous foreigners that are on that list that are never in the news as much as the American elites. And that's not by coincidence. That is another crippling of America's perception. How can you trust America when they have all those pedophiles and child killers and baby eaters? The thought is already out there. The thought is already mingling into people's brains. But this isn't done to London, Paris, France, Italy, Belgium, Germany, UK, Spain. None of their elites are crucified in the media for being at Jeffrey Epstein's island like the Americans. And you think this is by choice or coincidence? It's a play being ran on America, and a lot of people do not see it. America is under attack. America is being crippled. America is getting hit in its Achilles heel, and it doesn't even know it. Who started the transgender movement? Magnus Herschel, a Zionist Jew, in Belgium, brought it to Germany, started institutes, pushing the 1-2-3 community. Now it's here. Why is the 1-2-3 community pushed and recognized over true family values of what the Bible created? Adam and Eve. Not Eve and Eva. Not Steve and Adam. Why is the 1-2-3 community pushed over what God told us this earth was for? And that's to be fruitful and multiply. He said to replenish the earth. No disrespect to gay people, but you can't replenish the earth being a homosexual. Who is getting us farther and farther away from God? It has to be an entity that doesn't believe in God. Y'all can say I'm tripping, but I'm just keeping it real. Israel is the problematic child that either needs to be disciplined or put up for adoption. That is the only solutions here, Trump. Israel needs to be punished, or it needs to be put up for adoption. Israeli policy is now becoming a cancer to American society. It is becoming a cancer on a global stage. History has been here before. History has seen the presence of these type of people before in their textbooks. And it always took someone to stand up against them to where their country almost lost everything. But the fabric of America has been in bed with this entity for so long. It's going to be a bad situation. But what do you choose? warmongering over peace, solitude over confusion, harmony over havoc. These choices are meant for those that have common sense. But we have to realize we are not dealing with common folk. So be prepared for the ride. Be prepared for the Greater Israel Project. Because if Trump does not punish nor give up Israel for adoption, it will continue to get worse. Y'all know my motto: take care of each other. And if you can't do that, take care of your motherfuckers.